Hello, welcome to my movement. Let's do the little exercise. If you're in a resting position while listening to this, like sitting or laying down, set a timer for 1 minute and count how many breaths you take in that minute. No need to control your breathing or do anything different. Just breathe normally and count the breaths. Pause the video and do it. I'll wait. Got the number? Okay, good. Keep it close at hand. We'll need it in a few minutes. Today we're going to talk about how we can use our breath to calm our body and mind and regulate our emotions. So to begin this lesson, let's pause for a moment and take a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Let's inhale and exhale to the mouth. You know how to do it? Well, sort of. To tell you the truth, many people nowadays don't know how to breathe anymore. Of course, there's air coming in and out, but we don't know how to breathe properly, the way nature intended. And this is affecting our health. It's a bummer because breathing is an automatic process. What we are doomed to do, we can't control whether we breathe or not. But the good news is that we can control how we breathe. The quality of our breathing, how deeply and how long we inhale and exhale, plays such an important role in health and happiness. It can even help to predict how long you live. Yeah, stay tuned. I'll get into that later. The way we breathe affects everything we do. And everything we do affects the way we breathe. And this is something we can use in our favor. Controlled breathing is the most underrated tool we have in our daily lives to combat stress and find some balance. What's the first thing we say to someone who is in panic or very nervous? The first thing we say is, just breathe. We intuitively know this is the key to calm down. Someone is anxious, so their breath becomes shallow. They feel like suffocating because they don't have enough oxygen. So we tell them, breathe. Knowing the act of controlling the breath will calm them down, will regulate those strong emotions. It's a perfect example of how emotions affect our breathing and breathing affects our emotions. It works both ways. And here, as a society, we have a problem. Most people nowadays take shallow, quick breaths, hold the air for too long, or hyperventilate without even noticing. This affects our physical, mental, and emotional health. When we take quick, shallow breaths, there's not enough oxygen flowing to your brain, organs, and muscle. That puts you at risk for many, many issues. It puts stress on your heart, and your whole body is in distress. Constant stress causes a huge range of problems, from weight gain and inflammation to mood swings and trouble sleeping. During stressful times, the heart rhythm becomes erratic, and the neural signals traveling from the heart to the brain inhibit high cognitive functions. This limits your ability to think clearly, remember, learn, and make decisions. This is why many often act impulsively when we're under stress. Naturally, it also has a profound effect on our emotions. In fact, it reinforces the emotional experience of stress. The brain becomes more sensitive and gets overstimulated, so we're more agitated, tired, and cranky, and we can't relax. We lose the ability to regulate our emotions, so we tend to stay longer in negative mindset. We become more critical, more negative, more impulsive. Nothing good happens when we're always stressed. To be regulated, we need to be in balance, and that starts with the way we breathe. Our breathing affects every system in the body. After all, it's what distributes the oxygen our cells need to function. And while we may not be able to control our hearts, lungs, and organs, we can control and train our breathing. When we change that, we can influence how our bodies operate and return some balance to all our systems. So simple, yet so true. Let's see how it works. Heart-brain coherence. The moment when we feel our best are moments when our bodies, emotions, and thoughts are synchronized. That is to say, when the heart, organ, and brain are aligned, and their processes feel efficient, easy, and effortless. To achieve this, we need to be in a state called brain-heart coherence, or heart-brain coherence. This is a very important concept in health that refers to the fact that the activity of the heart influences the brain in ways that are significant. In fact, many contemporary scientists believe that the quality and stability of our feelings and emotions are determined by the underlying state of our physiological processes, and that feelings we label as positive actually reflect the body state that are coherent. That is to say, the state of our bodies determine the state of our emotions. This makes sense. There's way more information traveling from the body up to the brain than from the brain to the body. And you know what's the fastest and most effective way to influence your heart rhythm and in turn your brain? The breath. In fact, it has been said that controlling your breath is akin to controlling your heart. When you're stressed, you might find yourself holding your breath, tightening your muscle, clenching your jaws. This tension makes your heart rate goes up. It also sends a signal up to the brain to get ready for fight or flight. But by taking slow, controlled breaths, you can control the speed of your heart rate, slowing it down, achieving a quiet rhythm pattern, and reducing stress in the process. Blood pressure and brain waves slow down. We enter a state of calm, effortless focus, when every organ and system is functioning at its best. It's like the heart says to the brain, hey, everything is okay, we're safe, we can relax, and great. Let me take the lead. When the brain and heart are in coherence, we are out of survival. We experience a calm, balanced state of being that reinforces positive feelings and emotional stability, the core of self. So, the sequence is you breathe slowly, your body starts to relax, your heart rate and brain waves slow down. In this state of serenity, you stop ruminating and overanalyzing. You feel calm, grounded, and present in the moment. This is when we can be the best version of ourselves. We can imagine and create the life we want. We can see new possibilities because you're out of the limited emotions of survival. This is the way, and it all starts with the breath. Simply breathing more slowly in a controlled way creates a ripple effect. In short term, slow breathing can enhance relaxation, decrease pain perception, and help reduce acute anxiety. In fact, it's one of the most effective ways to get out of a panic attack. It immediately helps you feel more peaceful and balanced emotionally. It reduces mind wandering and intrusive thoughts. Slow breathing calms down the nervous system, which helps reduce inflammation, improves digestion and organ function, increases blood flow to the tissue, and optimizes many physiological parameters associated with health and longevity. We have more energy and feel more alive. We have more clarity and we can make better decisions and are more creative. It's like having a new mind. To understand how far the implications go, let's go back to the exercise we did at the beginning. Remember how many breaths you took in a minute? What you measured is called respiratory rate, and it's just as important an indicator of health as blood pressure and temperature. According to the Western science, the normal respiratory of the human adult falls between 12 and 20 breaths per minute. I will comment on this in a minute, but first let's look at the respiratory rate of other animals. How many breaths on average does a mouse take per minute? It's between 90 and 170. A dog? 20 to 30. And a tortoise? Around 4 breaths per minute. Now let's look at how many years each animal lives on average. A mouse, around 2 years. A dog, 10, 13 years. Humans average 60, 80 years. And a turtle, over 100 years. Do you see the correlation here? Let's look at it by side. Breaths per minute versus lifespan. As you can see, the animals that take more breaths per minute, such as a mice, live shorter lives. The animals that take fewer breaths per minute, such as a turtle, lives a lot longer. There's an increasing body of scientific research that indicate there's an inverse relationship between respiratory and heart rate and life expectancy. That is, the more breaths and heartbeats per minute, the shorter your life. The slower your heartbeat, the longer your life. In a nutshell, those who breathe the slowest live the longest. As for this average respiratory rate of human beings, modern Western science tells us it's between 12 and 20 breaths per minute. However, that's not the healthiest rate. It is only the number of breaths the average human being takes a minute in modern day. But the average human being right now is under a lot of stress. Most people are anxious, medicated, or highly caffeined, living too fast, sleeping and resting too little. There's nothing healthy about that. No, if you want to feel at your best and enjoy the benefits I mentioned in this video, aim for an average respiratory rate of between 5 and 7 breaths per minute. In fact, numerous studies have come to the same conclusion. For example, a study published by the International Journal of Psychophysiology put this to the test and confirmed that the best breathing pattern to achieve greatest level of brain-heart coherence is 5.5 breaths per minute. Aim for that. This is when you're resting, of course, not when you're exercising. Anything between 7 and 12 breaths per minute indicates a state of alertness. Anything above 15 or 16 breaths per minute, you're in survival. It hurts your system, organs, your health, etc. Slow breathing extends your lifespan and your youthfulness. Shallow or fast breathing shortens your lifespan and makes you age faster. And breathing slowly is way easier to achieve than you may think. Anyone can do it. In the next video, I quickly go over some simple breathwork exercises you can practice to get started. Everything is connected. When we breathe too shallow, too fast, too much, or too little, we are in survival. In this state, our subconscious patterns take over, and we lose control over our thoughts and actions. The neocortex, which is the seat of reason, shuts down. We are caught up in our thinking mind instead of being grounded in our hearts. Stuck in survival, the brain becomes less plastic, meaning it gets harder to change, think creatively, take in new facts and information, and create new neural connections. We stay the same. All the energy in the body and brain goes towards protecting us. Everything is working in overdrive. Everything that is not essential for dealing with a threat takes a backseat, like a digestion. For example, nutrients don't get absorbed properly and toxins accumulate. This builds unhealthy tissue, which eventually leads to disease. The release of important chemicals produced in the gut like dopamine and serotonin gets out of balance, which affect our mood, our sleep, our motivation. See how everything is connected? States of stress like this also take a tremendous amount of energy, so we're always tired. We're disconnected from ourselves, irritable, and lose capacity for empathy. Energy is being drained. Motivation and willpower are gone. What happens when we feel like this? We go for the quick fix, like food, alcohol, and then we feel guilty and sad because we didn't do what we intended to do. So we go for the quick fix again to mask the guilt. It becomes a loop. But if we slow down our breath, the heart and nervous system slow down. We enter a state of coherence that activates the self-healing system, muscle repair, organ repair, brain detox, etc. We start to feel peaceful and present. We can regulate our emotions. We can think clearly and get in touch with our core self. That's when change can happen. That's when infinite possibilities open us before. All this just by using our breath to slow down. So, let's practice again. Inhale to the nose and slowly exhale out. Let's do this again. Inhale through your nose, slowly, deeply. And exhale very slowly. Repeat this a few times. See how it feels after. Check out the next video for some simple breathing exercises to help you calm down. And remember, breathe long, live long. Thank you for being here.